Yeah, quick video today. Long story short, thinking is for idiots. At least in my opinion. I think the tendency, kind of the most normal thing, there's this idea of overthinking, and analysis paralysis, and I think this is extremely common. I mean, it's basically a household term. Everyone says it. Everyone, thinks that they do it, and it's a cardinal sin in my book. Okay, I've done it plenty of times before, but I think it's very bad for you. So the reason why, effectively, is that there's three choices. So let's actually go to a good old Figma document. Oh yeah, by the way, you should watch this video at 2 times speed. But you have essentially three choices. Okay, so you can either, if you're facing a decision like what should I do next? What's my next project? What degree should I choose? You have three options. So you have one, which is the best option, okay? And obviously you don't actually know because you can only make a decision based on what you know now, but in the future more information will be revealed. It's okay to change your mind. I think it's Bezos that says smart people change their mind. Um, the next way you could go is another option that isn't the best option, okay? And you won't know, obviously. And then the last way to go is do nothing. And I think that this is really where most people end up, okay? Because if you're thinking like, let's just, take this in context of my channel and kind of who I think my typical viewers are, they want to do some project. They want to build like a SaaS or an agency or make money online somehow. And there's a bunch there's infinite different ways to do that. Inside of each way to do that, there's infinite decisions. And so what you could do, or what happens, is you get kind of overwhelmed with all these decisions, okay? And overwhelm is not good. That says overwhelm. Because it causes like a stress response, and this stress response makes us uncomfortable. And what happens when we're uncomfortable is we and my I need to like God dang it. What happens when we're uncomfortable is we cope. Okay? This is essentially humanity 101. Whenever you're uncomfortable, you cope. Everyone has a coping mechanism, whether it's drinking alcohol or smoking weed or watching YouTube or whatever it is you do. There's a tendency to want to scope, to want to cope. And if you don't want to do that, you can train it out of you, but there's always that kind of tendency to do it. And there's so many ways that I just listed out that you can cope today. So you can watch YouTube, you can you can go on social media like TikTok. I mean, that's kind of the same idea as YouTube. You can do drugs or something like that. Um, and you can do combinations of these things. You can watch YouTube while you're scrolling TikTok and while you're drinking alcohol and smoking weed at the same time. Um, and yeah, there's a million more things to do that are more fun and make you feel better in the moment than dealing with this issue right here of overwhelm. Because the problem is you think that if you choose this option, you're going to fall behind. You think that you're going to fall behind or end up making a mistake. And so you think that you have to choose this option. You have to make the best decisions possible. But this is hopefully obviously a fallacy because you don't know the best decision, and the best decision will change over time. What may be the best decision today may end up not being the best decision in a year, and then you pivot to something that was another option previously, right? And so maybe you should have chosen the other option in the first place, but you know, at the end of the day, you can't actually choose this. This is a fallacy. And so all you can do is choose something, okay? And this becomes the fundamental question of this, okay? Or the fundamental kind of point. Something, god dang it, dude. Let me just something is better than nothing, okay? And even if this something is super fucking lame, dude, or it doesn't make you any money, or doesn't advance you or anything, and my friend the other night was saying, he's like, he wants to do this one project, but he doesn't think he could really get many users or it wouldn't make any money, but he thinks it might be cool. And it's just something. And it made me realize, like, yeah, that is effectively what you have to do. Like, when I was, a week or so ago, I was like, all right, I need to pivot. I need to, focus on something new. I was like, what do I focus on? And I had a few different options. I didn't really feel super good about any of them, but I just decided on this thing. I just decided on something, you know? Because even if this project that I'm doing right now, if it doesn't pan out, if I don't get any new connections or any new experience or anything, which is highly unlikely, the odds are that you're going to make new connections or learn new things or get new perspectives or even discover new opportunities that you could go into. Even if none of that happens, it's just the character development because at the end of the day, this coping, this is a problem, right? Because if you're coping, you're basically causing problems for yourself, especially if you're watching this video, you're young like me. Everything that you do from basically age 16 until 26 is going to be so permanent in the way that you grow up and the way that you develop the way that you develop. If you have a habit of just playing video games all the time from 16 to 26, you're not going to be this person that just goes out and does something. You're going to prefer to fall back to coping with video games. And there's many problems to cope about. There's many ways to cope. And so it's basically just inevitable. And so you have to offset that. You have to offset this tendency to cope by doing something rather than nothing. And again, even if it feels like a waste of time, even if it feels pointless or you're not that interested in it, just do it, and it's not always going to be fun. I hate to break it to you, entrepreneurship or building businesses or doing side projects, it's not always fun, but this is kind of a deeper idea from this book I've been reading, 12 Rules for Life, I think it's called, by Jordan Peterson. And side note, the foreword in that book is written by some other author, and it's so bad, dude. It's like all these huge words. You literally have to be 200 IQ to read this book. I'm like, this is terrible writing. You should write for like 5th grade reading level so everyone can understand it rather than just you who think you're super smart. So, anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, I mean, basically, the one of the points in this book is that existence is suffering. The human experience is basically just suffering. And it's stupid to just focus on happiness, this feeling of happiness, this fleeting emotion, frankly, of happiness. The only thing you can focus on is kind of fulfillment and advancement and getting better. And that's 100% true, at least in my experience. If you just do something, you know, um, especially if it's something that you find sort of interesting, it's not going to be interesting the whole time. You'll probably get bored. You'll probably start to burn out or feel whatever disinterested. You just push through, you finish what you started, and you'll be better off. So anyways, that's my spiel today.